Welcome, single Aries.
Aries.
We're going to do the heart spread for the last part of March 2021. Our Aries friends here at the beach. Make sure you can see the beach.
Sorry.
And we know, look, we're fighting the wind here for you, Aries, because we want to bring you tarot at the beach. Not easy, but it's okay. It's what we do. We make it look easy because we're so darn good at it. Most of the time it looks easy. And not right now. But yeah, we got a good breeze heading here today. And it's a little bit chilly, no?
See?
Okay, so in the name of light and love, so it serves the greatest good. We're looking for some
Aries.
help from spirit for our Aries friends.
For the singles.
For our singles. This is the 4 pillars: emotional, intellectual, sexual, and lifestyle compatibility. What we're going to do here is kind of fun. It's hard. It's a hard reading. Is look for your person. We're going to try to identify them, not so much by looks maybe, but by their behavior and history. So we're going to pretend all of us are going to go on a date together with your significant person. And this could even, I guess, theoretically be texting or whatever. And we're going to try to figure out kind of who they are, such that when you're on a date with them and get to know them a little, you're going to know that this is the person that spirit wants for you, not your next mistake or your next person, as it were. So that's why it's important to try to figure out who they are. So we'll keep that in mind as we read that we're look at their emotional, their intellectual, sexual, that's the funnest part, and lifestyle.
Okay, this is the emotional. This is the intellectual. This is the sexual.
10 of Pentacles. The Ace of Pentacles. I got well hung, but I'm just going to throw it out there. I guess that might only apply to a man. I don't know. So, I got to comment on the sexual first.
Okay.
That's what. But wow, 10 of Pentacles and the Ace. They can bring it. Okay, let's start with the sex. Why not? So, this is going to be an Earth sign, Mars. You know their astrology. Their Mars represents sex. I bet it's Capricorn, Virgo, or Taurus. So, we'll come back to that. Look for that. But then emotionally, intellectually, mostly we start with. So emotionally, we got an intellectual one, the 8 of. That's going to be interesting to look at that.
I think the emotional is a person who was being hurt in the past, and now he tried to protect himself. So going to need some kind of work in the.
Remember, this is your person, so
heal himself and recover the trust.
Yeah, I think emotionally we're trying to think, what are they going to be like? You nailed it. When you sit across them, get to know them a little bit. You may, if you watch the tarot reading, you're probably sensitive, so you're going to pick up on things. And so this is someone who's probably had a history of emotional abuse, even. This could go back to childhood, even. And also is going to be definitely a history. They're going to, if you get to talking about that, as you do, tell each other your stories, they're probably going to be telling stories about abusive relationships they were in some way. And, the 7 of Wands, they may not be so defensive. This could be doing the work. Maybe they've had to learn from a therapist or from reading articles. What are narcissistic behaviors and what are good boundaries. I always see the 7 of Wands, which is about actions, as asserting boundaries. So emotionally, this could be someone that had to really learn intellectually in is practicing asserting their boundaries, because maybe it doesn't come natural, which would explain a lot of times when you're abused. It breaks down your sense of boundaries. You never learn a sense of boundaries. Your boundaries are constantly violated anyway. And so as an adult, I've been an adult children, you have to learn intellectually what is a boundary,
Mm-hmm.
because you don't know. It's like, oh, you're supposed to call before you come over. I didn't know that. I just let people walk all over me all the time, do whatever they want. So I think that would be a story you kind of get from them. And you may even get a feeling from this about them. Like they could come across a little bit defensive, you know,
Mm-hmm.
emotionally. And I think, like, too, if you want to date, this could be someone like you may have to kind of get to know them. Like, they're not going to let you in emotionally real easily.
Mm-hmm.
They're not going to wear their emotions on their sleeve, and they're not going to be. You're going to have to, however you're seeing them on the first date, just
Mm-hmm.
know that emotionally there's layers beneath that
Mm-hmm.
that I think you would get to, because this is your person, guys. This is
Mm-hmm.
not some problem. So you may be the soulmate. You may be the one they need with the key to unlock this emotional part of them that I think they can share. And I think intellectually, then you kind of see a similar story, because now you have the Eight of Cups instead of Five of Cups, and then with the Moon card here, um, could have a Mercury in Pisces comes to mind. Your astrology person. I say these things because I'm trying to identify them. If you do look at the astrology, um, so intellectually, they had to go through some kind of loss process. Um, they may have a hard time. I mean, this could be some kind of dyslexia, um, where because of it, you see the emotional of Five of Cups and the Eight of Cups. Maybe their difficult childhood made it hard for them to go to school and to learn. And I think intellectually, they're definitely going to be someone who's going. It's interesting because here's an interesting point. So they're guarding the emotions and they're not allowing you to be so much into the emotions. But I think intellectually, they're going to come across as emotional. Like they may use emotional words, meaning like they may say, um, "I I know how that feels," or "How does that make you feel?" That kind of thing. Um, and they may come across verbally as being very caring and 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 kind of soft and kind of passive, I think, intellectually. So someone that's more, I'm not saying that's bad, but someone that's more receptive. The last reading we had for the couples was the King and the Queen of Swords. So not that person that's sharp and wanting to banter and cajole and dominant verbally. So this, if you're sitting across from them, you're going to notice this is someone who uh, is listens very well, and you're really going to have to draw them out. This will come across like you're going to have to ask them. Do not ask them yes and no questions. Okay, Aries, ask them open-ended questions to try to draw them out, and you may find that kind of hard. And there's definitely a pattern of someone who's soft, vulnerable. Uh, it could be an empath, very strong sense that they could be an empath. So, in other words, like when they think, it's more like they feel. Uh, you know, um, and I don't know how to say other than that. I see it a lot with Virgo and Gemini moons and stuff, where they don't so much feel as think. This person doesn't so much think as feel. So highly intuitive, empathic. Um, you'll I think just that alone, you're going to sense this person. And this may be with the sex for them has to be very grounded. And with the Ace of Pentacles, I don't. They're going to be slow. Again, kind of like the emotional part. This is not going to be someone who's going to jump in bed with you on the first date. They're going to want to be slow. And I think with this Ace of Pentacles, they're going to want to be kind of certain that there's a solid connection between the person that they make love to and them. That's why they're going to be slow. So if they do jump in bed with you quick, then it's because they really feel a strong, immediate soul connection. Okay, because I don't. And again, you can get this. You can kid around and talk. Maybe you get the stories. Now they're not going to be the person telling you stories about their conquests or innuendos. Going to be kind of They're not going to be a real sexual person. They're not going to be like making sexual innuendos or jokes or anything like that. And now in terms of the lifestyle, with the King and Queen of Wands, I think this is someone who's kind of traditional, with the King and Queen, and they're mixing this mental and thoughts with actions. So someone that does some kind of real work too, to help identify them. What is that? Like, I mean, they could be an engineer, an architect, something like this, a professional, um, and I think traditional. So this is not going to be someone that's going to tell you a story about how they may have grown up on a hippie commune. Totally could be their story, but this is not a hippie. Okay, if they're an empath and everything, they're also a more traditional person. And I think they're going to be, it kind of goes with the sexual energy here, they're going to be very inclined towards marriage. Like, this is not someone as a lifestyle that definitely is not going to want to do any kind of third party anything. But they're also going to want like a committed long-term marriage. You know, they're not going to want to live together or experiment in any way. And this is someone, if they're the man, you know, they want to be the man in this traditional sense. I don't think it's toxic, but, you know, they may be more like the one take care of the yard and fix the car. And they want a wife who cooks and stuff like this. So it's got that feeling with this. And also, though, with that, they'd bring a real stability to their lifestyle. They're going to be, you know, just stable. There's no drama, unnecessary drama. They're solid in their lifestyle. They just want a nice home and a nice life. Also, I think it's a person that their life is clean. You'll notice they're not going to be a person that's a mess. That their car was borrowed by their friend and wrecked, and their roommate burned the plate. No, this person is solid. They're hard working, dependable. They have I can tell you right now, if you go in their house, I always tell a lot about people energetically. I don't even have to see them. I think I could do like therapy by just going to the house and looking around. Probably it's even, therapists should do that. Do you ever think therapists go to your house? It's like the most logical thing. But yeah, so when you go to their house, it's going to be neat and tidy and clean, man or woman. They're not going to be a mess. Okay, so Aries, I think that gives you a lot to go on for this one. It was lush with information. So like, subscribe. If you don't hate us, subscribe, I say. It helps a lot. Thank you, Aries.
Bye.